Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're looking at bands that broke up before they could reap the benefits of their success, and those that have stuck it out through thick and thin.
Well, it started with a couple of beers, and it went I don't know how many years.
Still together, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Gotta get it, put it in you. What I got, you gotta get it, put it in you. Feeling with the feeling, don't stop, continue.
Despite some roadblocks along the way, they've maintained their iconic lineup for decades. After forming in 1982, the Red Hot Chili Peppers went through several different members due to personal tragedy and conflicts amongst themselves. In 1988, they landed on what would become their longest-lasting lineup: Anthony Kiedis, Flea, Chad Smith, and John Frusciante.
We're four people who are playing together not because we're supposed to, but because we want to, you know? It's a difference in the way I hear our music, where I hear a lot of love between the people playing and people who are playing together, because the world has put them in that position where that's the most, successful, way for them to be.
Together, the four made some of their most iconic work, solidifying their position as one of the most impactful bands in the alternative rock scene. Though there were some points where Frusciante temporarily left, they've always managed to reunite. All in all, they've performed together for decades, making them one of the longest-lasting groups in the industry.
It's been a long time and you never know when. Waiting on another black summer to win.
Split instantly, the Postal Service.
I am a visitor here. I am not permanent.
What started as a simple collaboration bloomed into a short-lived and well-missed group, consisting of Death Cab for Cutie singer Ben Gibbard and Dantel mastermind Jimmy Tamborello. The Postal Service was a perfect blend of indie and electronic music. What was supposed to be one song turned into a whole project that ended up hitting the top 50 on the Billboard 200. That successful debut set them up for even more fame and recognition further down the road. Just 2 years later, however, the pair split, citing their individual projects as their main priorities and struggling to create a follow-up. Though they've come together for a few performances since then, it's clear that their days as a full-time duo have ended.
There's a demand for it, and people are really clamoring for a second record, but there was really not a plan to make a second one from the very beginning.
The first one came together in such a natural way that I feel like if it happens again, it has to feel like that, and maybe that's impossible.
Still together, The Cure.
Tell me how you do it. I don't promise you. I promise that I'll run away with you.
Though only one founding member remains, the lineup he's built has remained as solid as a rock since the late 20th century. Despite the temporary member replacements and substitutions experienced by most bands, The Cure's formation has largely stayed the same since the mid-1990s. Together, Robert Smith, Simon Gallup, Roger O'Donnell, and Jason Cooper have given them the iconic reputation they have today.
Strange attraction spreads its wings and alters the smallest things, and you never know.
Although they had intentions to end things in 2018, a sudden resurgence in popularity changed their minds, leading to them recording their first full body of work in 15 years. With their 2024 album, Songs of a Lost World, hitting the top 5 of the Billboard 200, it seems the members may all be involved for years to come. Split instantly, Asking Alexandria.
My God!
With how popular they would become, it may surprise fans to learn that this band nearly never existed. Some may think that Asking Alexandria got their start in 2009 with their album Stand Up and Scream. However, former lead guitarist Ben Bruce founded the first incarnation of the band as far back as 2003.
We all have the same, we're all heading in the same direction. We all want the same things, but we don't always have the same idea of how to get there.
Throughout the mid-2000s, they released an EP and album, neither of which made any waves. Seeing the writing on the wall, Bruce disbanded the group and moved back to England, where he rebuilt it into the act fans know and love today. Their debut immediately charted in the US, setting the stage for future success and proving that Bruce made the right call in ending the first iteration when he did. Still together, U2. It's rare to find a group that has stuck together this long since the beginning. Since 1976, Bono, The Edge, Adam Clayton, and Larry Mullen Jr. have taken the world by storm as U2. The foursome have created over a dozen albums throughout the 20th and 21st century, while selling hundreds of millions of records around the world. Their lead singer has admitted that there's more tension than meets the eye, especially as they continue to grow. He even claimed that they'd broken up several times. However, they never went through with disbanding and stayed focused on their music. About 5 decades in the making, it's clear that they still have plenty of love for one another and plenty more music to make. Split instantly, New Radicals.
Why aren't you here with me tonight?
With just one album, they helped define an era of the 90s many are aching to go back to. After forming in 1997, New Radicals quickly found success the following year with the album Maybe You've Been Brainwashed Too. Led by the classic single You Get What You Give, this put the group on the map.
Music in you, one dance left, this world's gonna pull through.
They heavily promoted the project with a tour and a variety of live performances, both of which founding member Greg Alexander grew wary of. The next year, just before their second single was set to drop, he held a press conference to announce that they had broken up. Though they did team up for a brief reunion in the early 2020s, they were met with considerably less fanfare than before. Still together, the Rolling Stones.
He's on my side. Yes, it is.
With multiple members having remained constant since the early 1960s, they're proof that finding the right people early on is the key to long-term success as a band. Since the beginning, Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, and Charlie Watts proved to be a power trio. The addition of Ronnie Wood in 1975 rounded out their formation, and since then, it hasn't budged. The result? Dozens of successful albums and singles, and over 250 million records sold worldwide. Watts remained part of the group until his passing in 2021. Despite the personal tragedy, the remaining 3 stuck together. They created their first album as a trio in 2023, featuring the last 2 songs they ever recorded with their longtime collaborator and friend.
That's the sun. Hear the sound of drums.
Split instantly, the Sex Pistols. They could have had it all. As the harbingers of the punk scene in 1970s London, the Sex Pistols were unlike anything people had seen before. After replacing Glenn Matlock with Sid Vicious in 1977, it seemed like they were set to change rock and roll forever. Yet, just after one album and an unfinished tour, they called it quits. The tour, which was intended to increase their fame in the States and make them a household name, ended up being their downfall.
Oh, no fun. Oh, bollocks, why should I carry on?
Vicious's chaotic behaviour caused issues at every venue. It all came to a head at the Winterland Ballroom in 1978, where a lackluster performance led to him giving up on stage. 4 days later, it was announced that the Pistols were no more.
Ever get the feeling you've been cheated? Good night.
Still together, Eagles.
You're coming back, you're running back, you're coming back for more.
Even with a 14-year-long hiatus in their prime years, they've still managed to have an impressively long tenure as a group. After forming in 1971, the Eagles took the United States by storm. Despite their success, there was plenty of tension simmering beneath the surface. On July 31st of 1980, things came to a head between Glenn Frey and Don Felder during a performance.
I can't wait.
Whoa, when that kind of stuff is on stage and you're in front of people, you got problems.
After a thrown bottle and an on-stage argument, the latter smashed one of his guitars, marking the end of their initial run. They reunited over a decade later in 1994, and they quickly found their groove. Though Felder was fired in 2001 and Frey passed away in 2016, the other members have continued the band's legacy well into the 2020s.
You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Before
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Split instantly, Metro Station. When they first formed in 2006, it seemed as though they would become one of the biggest bands of the new millennium. Headed by Trace Cyrus and MsMojo, Metro Station's initial singles and debut album saw immense success after the release of their song Shake It. They quickly propelled to mainstream fame, which they used as momentum to begin working on a sophomore release. The Cracks began forming in 2009, when two members suddenly quit mid-tour. After continuously rising tensions between the frontmen, they went on an official hiatus in 2010. Since then, they've reunited for brief stints and even released their second album in 2015. However, reforming long-term doesn't seem to be in the cards for them anytime soon.
We're just kind of waiting for the right time to be back in the studio and, get a whole game plan going on. I know he's doing his thing and I'm doing my thing right now. And I think, like I said, the whole world's in flux.
Have any of your favorite bands lasted for decades? Let us know in the comments below.